welcome back to another video. Today I have another massive coloring book haul, flip through, and review video for you. I have lots of coloring books to share with you in this video because I've not done one of these videos or shared any coloring books since the end of January. So I've got quite a few, and a lot of them were sent to me by companies or artists because they wanted me to be able to share these books with you. I also have a bit of happy mail that I'm really excited to share as well. I will provide you with timestamps on this video, and so if you just scroll the bar down below, you will see all the names of all of the coloring books. I will also have links down in the description box below if you would like to pick up any of these coloring books. Okay, so the first few books I have are from Coloring Heaven, and I don't think I've ever shared Coloring Heaven books on my channel before. They are a magazine subscription service that you can sign up for. I will have links down in the description box below if you would like to sign up for a subscription service, or if you would like to just order individual books. You could choose either option once you go to their website, but you could sign up for 3 months at a time and it's $30.99, or you could sign up for an annual membership and it is $127.99. You will receive 13 new coloring books throughout the entire year, and if you become a member, you get access to their Discovery Club, sneak peeks of upcoming issues, exclusive designs to download, and early access to their video content. If you go to their website, you'll see that they even actually have some blog type posts and tutorials on how to color. But I think that this issue here was the most current issue. I'm on their website now and it looks like they have a Fairies special. That may be their most current one, and this may be last month. This is the one that they sent me. So we're gonna go ahead and look through this one now. This one is Wildwood Witches Special. It has 40 exclusive magical designs by Steve Hutton. I have not heard of that artist before, so this one is new to me. If you open the front cover, you will see that they have all their information here for their Facebook group and their Instagram, their Pinterest, and then it gives information here on how to sign up for their membership, because like I said, it is a magazine subscription, or you can also order the individual magazines if you would like to do it that way. Let's go ahead and start flipping through this one and take a look at this artwork by Steve Hutton. On each one of the pages, you're gonna have a little blurb here telling about what you are seeing on the actual coloring page. And I believe each one of the pages is like that, but this one is just going to be all about witches. Now, as far as the paper in these books, the paper is sort of thin. It has a little bit of tooth, but not a whole lot. And I don't know what I would really compare it to. As far as how thin it is, I would probably compare it to the Amazon paper, maybe. It is about the same thickness of that paper in those books if you're familiar with the Amazon printed books. And it even sort of feels about the same. But just looking at it, I think the paper might actually be whiter than an Amazon printed book. And I have some Amazon printed books actually in this video coming up. So I'll compare those and see how they actually compare up to one another side by side. So as you can see, we're just going to have lots of witches. And then here we even have some beautiful flowers and some leaves. And we have another witch with a dragon. And I think it's really cool how they have a name here. And of course the image is numbered on the inside page. And then it tells a little bit about the page. So this one just says Wildwood Coven's most gifted garden worker. So you can see she looks like she's been working in the garden, but there's also a dragon in the picture. And then we've got some fruit here and some leaves. This one is called Foxglove. This is page 17, and it says Jenny Jarcease, I think you pronounce that. And all of these pages are all going to be one-sided, so that's really nice. And I would assume if you wanted to use a marker in these books, you probably could. I would just make sure that you put something behind the page so that your markers don't bleed through to the other side and ruin the page behind it. Now, as far as the size of these, I think I am going to go ahead and grab an Amazon printed book because I want to be able to show you the comparison in size. These are not a standard 8.5 by 11 book like the Amazon books are. Let me go ahead and grab one here. Okay, so here's an Amazon printed book. And if I hold this up to the top, let me go ahead and close this just so I could show you. But I have this right at the top, and you can see that I have about this much space left here. And then if I put it like this book is actually a little bit wider. So it's a very different size than the Amazon printed books. So I was also gonna compare the paper. So you can tell by looking at the paper that this paper is whiter and this one is a little bit more of an off-white. I mean, it's white, but it's not as white or bright white as this paper is in these Coloring Heaven magazines. And that book you just saw was a Deborah Muller book, and that one is coming up, but of course I will have timestamps on this video. So if there is a certain book you would like to see, you can just use the bar down at the bottom and scroll to whatever book you would like to see a flip through of, or if you would like to rewatch something. And always remember that you can pause as well if there's a certain page that you would like to see, because like I said earlier, I have a ton of books to share with y'all. So I am going to try to flip a little bit faster. And I have one Coloring Heaven book coming up that I am so excited about and really excited to share with you because I have been trying to get this book for the longest time, and I think I'm going to show you this one here next. Okay, so we're on the back page, and then it just has a color combination chart here where you can save some of your color combinations. It looks like they have a color combination here using Prismacolors. I recognize some of those names: dark green, olive green, lime peel, and then yellow chartreuse. But you could add your coloring combinations over here. You could even probably print this page if you wanted to. And then here it just has information about the half price membership that they're offering you and tells you everything that is included if you were to sign up for a membership. And of course I will have links down in the description box below so that you could sign up for a membership for these coloring books if you would like to. And then the back page, I would assume that you could color this if you wanted to. That's really neat. Okay, so that was Wildwood, which is special, and it is artwork by Steve Hutton. And this next book, y'all, I'm so excited about this one. I grew up with Hollie Hobbie, and I had all of the little rag dolls and everything, and I collected them. And so I saw this book because a subscriber or a member of my Facebook group was continuously sharing it in my Facebook group, and I wanted this book so bad. And I'm going to go ahead and start flipping through here. This is going to be pretty much the same as the other one, so I'm not going to explain about all of this here and everything. We're just going to start flipping through, but the images in here are gorgeous, and I can't wait for y'all to see them. But I had wanted this book so badly, and even before I saw her sharing it, I had seen it somewhere else, and I really wanted it, but I didn't think I would be able to get it. I had no idea it was available. Somebody said it was available on the Coloring Heaven website as an individual issue, but then someone also said that it was sold out. Okay, so I actually just went and checked, and it does look like it is sold out. I don't see it on there. There are actually quite a few that are sold out, but a wonderful subscriber went out of her way. She's actually in Australia, and she went out of her way to send me this book, and I have another one coming up that I want to share with you that is also a Coloring Heaven book that she sent me, and that one made its way to me. The Hollie Hobbie one did not. But it has been quite a long time, so I don't know that it is going to make its way to me from Australia, but she went out of her way to purchase the books on eBay, wait for them to come to her, and then send them to me, which I am so grateful to her to even go through all of that. She didn't have to go through all of that just to send me a coloring book, but I really appreciate what she did. Look at these images. Aren't they they're just the cutest. And the first part of the book you're going to see is one type of image, and then we're going to get into the second half, and they're more of a grayscale, and you'll see that in a minute, but I absolutely love them. But anyway, so that coloring book never got to me. The other one she sent to me did get to me, and I'll be showing you that one here in a minute. But Coloring Heaven actually reached out to me, and they ended up sending me these books. I told them I had been trying to get a hold of the Hollie Hobbie book, and I told them what happened, and she was like, I'll send you the Hollie Hobbie book. And I was like, what? So I ended up being able to get a copy of this book that I've been trying to get for months and months now. So I'm just really, really excited. So apparently I need to keep flipping the book back and forth because some are landscape and some are portrait. But aren't these just beautiful? And here we go. Oh my gosh. So these, I have to color this. I just absolutely love this one right here. Love, love, love. And you know how much, y'all that have been watching my videos for quite some time, you know how much I absolutely love grayscale. And so many people are intimidated by grayscale. I find most of the time that a lot of beginners are intimidated by grayscale, but the grayscale should most definitely be used as a guide, and it actually makes it much easier for you to color. And if you wanted to use alcohol markers, like I said, if you're going to do that, did I skip one here? No, I don't think I did. But if you're going to go ahead and use alcohol markers, like I said earlier, I would stick something behind it. But grayscale is wonderful to be able to experiment with your alcohol markers, because instead of having to learn how to blend, the marker actually just goes over it, and it makes it darker in the areas where it should be darker and lighter in the other areas where it should be lighter with just one marker. And it really works out beautifully. One of the best coloring books I've actually seen, which I don't have any here in this pile, but some of the Jade Summer Grayscale, those are absolutely wonderful for alcohol markers. When I was first learning how to use alcohol markers, I actually purchased some Jade Summer books because I had seen so many other YouTube colorists that were using alcohol markers use the Jade Summer books, and I loved the way they turned out. And when I decided to do it myself, I loved the way that it turned out as well. But these images are just absolutely beautiful. And again, we've got the numbered page numbers. So I think there might be maybe 50 in here. We're on 43. But look how sweet these are. I'm so excited to color in this book. Oh my goodness. And I would imagine that you could still print out the pages onto a piece of paper that is 8.5 by 11, because the image does not actually go all the way to the top of the page or to the bottom of the page. So you probably could print it on your 8.5 by 11 paper, and I would most likely use the Spring Hill paper. And I noticed that on Amazon, the Spring Hill paper that I love so much has gotten really high in price and been hard to get a hold of. So I may have to purchase the 67-pound paper. And then the back is just the same. It tells you a little bit about becoming a member and shows you some of their coloring books that they have available. Oh, and the back of this one is a little bit different. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, I want that mug. They got t-shirts and mugs for Hollie Hobbie. Oh my goodness. So they're advertising the website where you could actually get this stuff. And of course it's based in the UK. I wonder if I can get these things. Oh my gosh, I love that shirt and that mug. But that was Hollie Hobbie, and there we go. It says we have 48 designs in here from the whimsical world of Hollie Hobbie. Okay, so this next one is 40 exclusive Color Your Own Story by Josh Lee. And this one is the other one that I mentioned earlier that was sent to me by my subscriber or member of my Facebook group. So thank you, Angela, so much for sending me this book. I so appreciate it. I did not know who Josh Lee was, but one of my moderators in my Facebook group, she absolutely loves coloring anything that is Josh Lee. And I was actually looking at a new book that she had mentioned that he had just released, and I really wanted some of his artwork, and I was really surprised when Angela sent me this in the mail, I was like, what a coincidence. But that is so super cool. But again, here on the inside of this page, we'll have the number of the illustration. So this is illustration number 7. And then it just says, suddenly the water began to bubble and a huge sea monster rose up from the ocean below her. So it has these little stories about what is going on the page, which is pretty cool. And then here we have illustration number 9, and then it just says, just as the Kraken was about to destroy the little boat, a huge wave lifted and it hurled towards the shore to safety. So it looks like it's just a whole story. It looks like her boat got ruined and now she is stranded. But we have a lot of landscape and really cool things on these pages, like a lot of mountain scenery and trees. We had a palm tree, I think, on that last page. And then you've got the anime looking style girls where you can color skin, and it's not a whole lot of skin, so you can really get a chance to practice coloring skin where you don't have like a huge area to be able to color, where it's not like a full portrait since you're getting the whole body and everything. So you can just practice where to lay your shading colors and place those colors in the right places without having to worry about covering such a massive area. I know when we get into portraits and such, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Again, we have a lot of scenery. We've got some birds up here and the trees and the water. Oh my goodness, what is she doing? Dewada felt hungry, so she climbed trees to pick fruit and berries to eat. And then we have an injured wolf, and it says he's laying still near the cave. So we've got some animals to color. Oh, and then here she is with her wolf. Oh, and here we've got her gorgeous long hair and her back is facing to us, so you can really make that hair like the highlight of the entire page or the focal point. Oh gosh, look at her hair, how beautiful. And then Dewada cleaned and bandaged the wolf's wounds. The wolf yelped in pain and was too weak to move. Here we've got lots of background on this page. I would color this all in with blue and then really highlight that moon. That would be beautiful. And considering these pages have a little bit of tooth on them, I would think that you could use really any colored pencils. And I don't know, I have found that with my oil-based pencils, I find that paper that is a little bit smoother and even a little bit thinner, they work much better on those types of papers. But this one, since it has a little bit of tooth, you could probably use your wax-based pencils. You may even be able to use either or. We have her wolf and her looking up at the helicopter here in the sky. Dewada hugged the wolf tightly and whispered, "So long, my friend. We will be reunited again one day." And then she returned home and she wrote stories of her adventures with her wolf. That is so cool how it's just like a story. Okay, so then we have her here at home and it looks like she's painting. It says she's painting the scenery that she had seen on her adventures. Dewada's beautiful painting was chosen to hang in the local gallery. And then here we have the end. So we had 40 images in this book. And then again on this one, we have another page that you could probably color if you wanted to. It looks like my book is a little bit messed up, so I probably wouldn't be able to color it, but if y'all were ordering it new, you would definitely be able to color the back of the book. This is a coloring book by Colorya. I think I'm saying that right. But it's Mandalas Magical Nature, and it's just a book full of mandalas. Y'all know how much I love the Colorit books because of the quality. These remind me very much of the Colorit books. You've got the binding up here, and this binding, I think that's even nicer. It's really, really a thick, thick wire. So let's go ahead and flip through here. Now this one is different than the Colorit books, even though it does look a lot like the Colorit books. It might even be a different size. The size on this is very different. Let me compare this. Here again, here is a Amazon printed book. So you can see that the Amazon printed book is a little bit wider. It goes off the edge here just by about this much, and then up here at the top it is much longer. So let's go ahead and flip through here and take a look at some of these mandalas. And just like the Colorit books, it does have the much thicker paper, so I will show you that. You could hear how thick that paper is. And on this page it's just thanking you for choosing their coloring books, and it's in a bunch of different languages. And then of course it has the scan me thing here, and I would assume that may take you to their website, possibly. Yeah, simply scan the code with your phone or camera and join our coloring group on Facebook. Okay, so it takes you to their coloring group. I have looked through here a little bit, and some of the, oh my gosh, see, the paper is so thick that I thought that there was another page there. So that tells you how thick the paper is. And this paper, you know how the Colorit books are very, very smooth? These actually have two, so these would be perfect for colored pencils. And some of these mandalas are beautiful because they're not just straight up mandalas. As you could see, that last one had a butterfly. This one has lots of flowers. Oh my gosh, and the paper is so thick, I keep thinking I'm skipping pages. The paper is super, super nice. So this book is available on Amazon for $16.99. And this is one book that you definitely would not have to put something behind the pages because the paper is so thick. And I love that it is toothy, so you could definitely use your colored pencils in these books. And I know a lot of you that watch my channel all love your colored pencils because of course that's what my channel is all about, right? But there's some gorgeous mandalas in here. Look at these, how pretty they are. And I do love that all of the pages go one direction. I don't know, I guess when we get further into the book, we'll see if I have to be flipping or not. I think this paper might be thicker than the Colorit books, and I know that I'm comparing it to the Colorit books because that's the only other book that I know that a lot of you would be familiar with that are much like this one. But this one, I think, has even thicker paper because it really feels like you are, like I have two pieces of paper or two of the pages in my hand as I'm flipping through. And these mandalas are very, very different. Here we've got a mandala just full of leaves. Oh, and there's is that a porcupine maybe? Right there, and you can't even hardly tell. He's like camouflage. This one would be really cool to color and really make the porcupine really stand out if that is a porcupine. And then make it stand out and make it the focal point, and then make all of the other part of the mandala stand out behind it. But these are really, really cool. Here we have one that looks like a tree. These would be a lot of fun to color because there is like an image within an image in each one of these mandalas. So you could focus on making that image the focal point of what you're coloring or of the actual mandala. Like this one has the bird here or an eagle, and then you can also color the parts behind it, but making the actual eagle or the bird really, really stand out by using different contrasting colors. And then here again, the same thing with the horse. Here we've got lots of beautiful butterflies in the background. Oh, and now we have a woman. That's really neat. She's got pretty flowers in her hair. Actually, it's a fairy, so she's got fairy wings. And then that is the end of the book. So let's see, what does the back cover look like? So this is the back cover, and it just says the name of the company, Colorya. My wish is to always stay like this, living quietly in a corner of nature by Claude Monet. But that's a really cool book, and I absolutely love the paper. And their spiral binding is really, really great quality. So that was Colorya Mandalas Magical Nature. Okay, so now I have Colorit's new release, and I wanted to be able to compare the sizes in these two because I thought it was a little bit different. But yeah, look at the difference. You can see, I'm going to put this way down at the bottom, try to fit it in the frame. But you could see that this book is a little bit taller than the Colorit books. And then this way, so this book is going to be much more rectangular. And then we've got just a little bit of space, maybe again that much over here where the Colorit book is wider. But this is Colorit's new release. It is Modern Art. This one, sadly, did not make it to me in perfect condition. These are actually wire. Okay, so I was mistaken. These are actually wire. They're just black. I don't know. The ones on the other book are a little bit different. But let's go ahead and take this one out of the wrapping. But yeah, look, my book is a little bit damaged, and that must have happened in shipping. And then if you saw earlier, this was all bent up and actually leaned all the way over to the side. But that's okay, as long as all of the pages are intact. So on this page, it is just a table of contents that is going to take you through each one of the pages that are in this book and let you know which artist they were actually inspired by. So like the first few images are going to be inspired by Van Gogh. And I know this is something very different than what Colorit usually does. Now, if you remember, if you've watched my videos before, the Colorit books are very nicely perforated here. They're spiral bound. They're very, very good quality, and the paper is much thicker. So this is the blotter page, and you can tear this page out here if you wanted to. It's going to tell you a little bit about the Colorit coloring group. And then this part down here is just going to give you a timeline of the different times in history in relation to modern art. So that is really, really neat. This is your This Book Belongs To page. Now with the Colorit books, we do have thicker paper, and the paper is going to be a smoother paper. And I actually really love this paper for gel pens and markers. And if you want to use water-based markers in here, you can do that. If you want to use your alcohol markers, you can do that as well. And most all of their books are going to have some in portrait and some in landscape. So you're going to see me flipping back and forth just a little bit as I flip through here to show you these images. So it looks like this book has a really good mix of artwork, and then like it says in the front, each one of these images were inspired by a different artist. And you could always go back to the front page and use that for a reference to be able to see which artist each one of these were inspired by. This is very different. Look at these roses, look like they're just kind of like floating up there, and they all have masks on. So we've got a really cool architectural type page here. That would be fun to color. You can make all of these look like windows, like little individual windows. That would be super, super neat. And then it looks like we have a lot of geometric or abstract type pages in here. There was one that we already passed, and then this one. Here's another one that looks extremely abstract as well, but it's a little bit different because you can tell that each one of these are boats. Lots of leaves on this page. Different types of leaves too. That's really neat. And then we've got the trees back here in the background. Another very abstract, very different page. I've never seen anything like this before, but this would look really cool after you added lots of different colors to it. Oh, and this is very different too. Now, don't ask me which artists these were inspired by, because I am not, I never really kept up with that part of history. So if you know just offhand, and I'm flipping through this book and you want to share that because something looks familiar to you, or you could tell what artist it was inspired by or what time period, that would be really cool. And here we have a mother and a daughter, it looks like. We've got lots of scenery in the background. Are those bananas? And then a bunch of lily pads with a bridge. And then here we have two girls, maybe two girls with their dad. Oh, the dog is so big back there. And then here we have a tree, again, very abstract looking. I'm assuming that all of these abstract ones were possibly inspired by the same artist. So lots more abstract art here in the background. That would be a really cool background or fun background to color. Oh wow, this is different. Again, there's a lot of abstract type images in here. Like here you could see the girl's face, but there's yet all of these circles over it. And where the circles are over her hair, it's almost like it is like a magnifying glass. I'm sure you could do something really, really neat with that if you got really creative. It looks like they are just sitting on the lake. What are they doing? Are they modeling? I don't know. Lots of buildings, and again, more very abstract or even architectural. I cannot say that word. Here I am like trying to come up with these words and say these words, and I am just really messing it up. Again, another very abstract looking image. And then here we just have a repeat, a constant repeat of one image. Oh my goodness, another one. A geometric type image. That would be really relaxing, I would imagine, to sit and color though. Just to sit there and color in every one of those squares. Now this is a little strange because this guy does not have a head. We have some roses back here, but they're sort of like melded into the background. Oh goodness. I don't know. And then here we have a girl just sitting here. It looks like she might be on a bridge or something, and she has a balloon. She's letting the balloon go. We've got some buildings in the background. Oh, a monorail. This looks like, that reminds me of Disney World. Okay, now, to me, this one's a little creepy. It looks like we got a hand coming out of the ground and holding an egg, and then the flowers coming out of the egg. And then this one looks like a mirrored image. And then, of course, we've got all that very mandala-y looking abstract type stuff going on in the background. Here we have some buildings, and then the people are just very teeny tiny small. And here's another one where we have a bunch of duplicates of the image. So we've got a girl with her umbrella and a little boy standing back here. And then we have some animals. So we've got the elephant that's kind of like under the water, and then the duck that's on the top of the water. Another geometric type page. And then I think that is the end. This is the back of the book, and then it just says it's perfect for art enthusiasts and advanced colorists. Colorit Modern Art will challenge you to color and create stunning masterpieces inspired by Claude Monet, Pablo Picasso, Vincent van Gogh, Salvador Dali, and more. So that's really cool. I know this is very different than what they have or what they usually do. So if you enjoyed this coloring book or you think you want to pick this up, you'll have to let me know in the comments below. And again, I will have the links for all of these books in the description box below. This book here can be picked up on Amazon for $21.99, and this is their brand new release. It's only been out for I think a week or so now. Okay, y'all, so now we have one of my faves. If you've been watching me for quite some time, you know that Deborah Muller is one of my favorite artists, and she has a very special place in my heart because I did nothing but color Deborah Muller for the longest time before I discovered all these artists when I was very much a beginner. But this is her new book. This is Fairies Circus, and it is adorable. And then on this front page, she is just going to have her website. And of course, this book is Amazon printed. She also does have an Etsy store. And she says here, it truly brings me joy to see your wonderful masterpieces. Please tag me. And then she has her hashtag Deborah Muller Art. So I guess you could tag her on Instagram. This is your This Book Belongs To page, and you can just put your name in there and color that. And this book is all one-sided, and the images are just adorable in here. So here we have a fairy with her adorable little poodle. Another fairy with cotton candy. And this one looks like she's just floating in the air with a bunch of bubbles. And y'all, I love coloring bubbles. They're so much fun to color. I actually have a bubble tutorial on my channel, and I'll link that in the upper right-hand corner. If you would like to watch that, maybe you have a page right now where you want to color some bubbles, or even just draw circles on a page and practice coloring bubbles. They're so much fun to color. And then we have another fairy here. She has a little tattoo on her shoulder that says Circus Life. How cute is that? So the entire book is going to be filled with fairies, circus fairies to be exact. And they are all quite adorable. And this one has one eye open and one eye shut, trying to spin the hula hoop around her ankles. That is definitely skills. Look at the adorable little elephant. He's so cute. Oh, I love her outfit. And the seal. Oh, I love her outfit too. I love some of the clothes that Deborah Muller puts on her girls. She definitely gets a little bit different in every book with the clothing that she puts on her little girl characters. I especially love her chubby fairy books and the clothes that she puts on them, and then sometimes she'll have them like even pretty much half naked with their little butts sticking out, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. Here we have another fairy. It looks like she is walking the tightrope. That is super scary. Oh my gosh, look at her outfit. Oh wow. Okay, so a fairy on a swing. Oh, the giraffe is holding her on the swing. Okay, so now we have a two-headed fairy. Oh, look at the little mouse down there. He's adorable. He has a little heart on his cheek. I always like to pull out my gel pens when I see things like that. This little pig has a little circle on his cheek. Again, I would pull out my gel pens when I color things like that. She has some really cool braid buns. Those would be fun to color. And I don't know about this one. Is she a vampire clown, or I don't even know what she is. She's definitely a clown. She might be a vampire. I don't know. I thought it was all fairies. And then here we have a cute little fairy on a horse. And then that is the end. And then she just gives you all the information where you can find her. Of course, Instagram. She does have an Etsy store. I will have all that linked in the description box below. She has so many coloring books to choose from, and she is always coming out with new ones. And if you've watched these videos before on my channel where I do these massive flip through reviews and hauls, I'm sure you've seen several Deborah Muller coloring books. She always sends me her books to share with y'all. And this one, y'all, this is a gorgeous book. This was sent to me by Alena Lazareva, and she wanted me to be able to share this with all of you. I think she very recently has done an update to a lot of her coloring books. So I just shared another coloring book in my last video like this, and her artwork is beautiful. So this is Elegant Beauties, and then it's going to be beautiful hair designs, braids and curls, ladies' hats. And I remember when she came out with this book, and she actually let her, I think it was her Facebook group members, choose the title to the book, and somebody in the coloring community had come up with the name Elegant Beauties. So that's really cool. But it does say here newly updated in 2022. And then we're going to get 2 full sets of 20 amazing illustrations, a bonus 5 of the finest pictures from Alena Lazareva's other coloring books. But the images in here are absolutely beautiful, and you'll see that as I start to flip through. Over here on this page, she just gives a little bit of information about herself, and then everywhere that you could find her or purchase her books. And of course, again, I'll have that all linked down in the description box below. But look at these gorgeous images, and I love how light the grayscale is. And they're all going to be single-sided. You are going to see that the hairstyles in these books are going to be all very different. The clothing on some of the girls or the women are going to be absolutely beautiful. Here we have just a portrait with some fish. That is gorgeous. Look at her braided hair, how beautiful it is, and her clothing and her jewels. Oh my goodness. So pretty. And remember, if you didn't want to color on this Amazon paper, this is Amazon printed and on the Amazon paper. So if you did not want to color on this paper, you could always print it onto another paper, like the Spring Hill paper, the Nina paper. Like I said earlier, the Spring Hill paper, the 80 pound has gotten very, very expensive. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and start using the 67 pound paper, or even try the Nina 67 again. But I love to use the book and just put it right in my printer and print the pages out on my own paper. But even if you don't do that, I really enjoy coloring on the Amazon paper. I've never had an issue with it. I mean, it is thinner, but it does have a very little bit of tooth, and it works really well with Prismacolors. It really does work well with Prismacolors, and I love how my Pablos work on the Amazon paper as well. Oh, look at her hair. Her hair is absolutely beautiful. Wow, the images in here are just gorgeous. Okay, so here we have nothing but hair, and then her outfit. Oh, her outfit would look so cool if you made it look like it was sort of see-through, and then colored all the little flowers and leaves on there. Okay, so that was all of the images, and then she's going to give you some bonus pages here from her other coloring books. I have this coloring book. This is from her Pirates coloring book. That's a really cool book as well. This one is from her Fairies book. Look how gorgeous that is. This one is from Magic Autumn. So if you want to check out any of her other books, and then some of them, of course, are Lineart, some are Grayscale. This one is from Victorian. And then the second set of pages is going to begin here. So if you make a mistake, you will have a whole nother set of pages to be able to color. And the last page in all of her books, she always shows you all of the books she has available. She does have some 100 best grayscale, and then part 2 of that one, so she's got 2 of those. So if you just want a bunch of her best Grayscale, you could buy the books that have 100 images in them. And then here's some more of her books. She has quite a few books available. So here is the back cover. It's just going to show you the images that are contained within the book, and you can purchase this book on Amazon for $9.90. So that's not bad. And then I believe she also does have an Etsy store, and I will have all the information for Alena Lazareva in the description box below. Okay, so these were happy mail from a wonderful subscriber who sent me lots of stuff, and I will be having other videos and sharing other things with you that she sent me, because I have one big amazing thing that she sent me that I cannot wait to share that I have been wanting and never ever thought I would have. That is going to be in one of my next videos that is very soon to follow this one. So this is Christine Karron's Characters Through World and Times Lineart coloring book, and she does have Lineart and Grayscale in this one, but my subscriber that ordered these for me, she wanted to be anonymous. She didn't want me to say her name, so I'm not going to say her name, but I really appreciate her. I love these books, and these were actually on my wish list on Amazon. So she went on my wish list and picked up a couple things that I was wanting, which I am just so appreciative of. So this is the first page, Characters Through Worlds and Times, Lineart coloring book. So we've got a color image here on the first page, which that's a little bit different. So all illustrations in this book were originally created and traditional hand-drawn by the artist Christine Karron. For coloring inspirations, demo videos, and more about Christine's artwork, visit chkarron.com. And I believe that somebody also told me, I believe that actually the subscriber that gifted me this book also told me that she now has a Patreon that you could join for something crazy like only $1, and she gives you free coloring pages. I've not yet checked it out, but I plan to. This is again on the Amazon paper. Her line art does actually look a little bit gray. It's not a very dark line art. It's almost light enough to where once you took your colored pencils to it, you would be able to cover a lot of it up, which is really, really nice. But I really love Christine Karron's artwork. She creates some of the most beautiful images. But I don't know, lately I've just been really in the mood to color nothing but portraits. I have another one that I just colored by Grazia Salvo that I have coming up also in a future video, the video I was just talking about, that I used something brand new to me to color with. I don't want to give away too much information, but I have that coming up, and the image I colored, it turned out so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with it. But I absolutely love Christine Karron and Grazia Salvo. I hope I'm saying her name right, but I love her books as well. So, and then the other portrait artist that I really, really love, of course, is Mariola Budek. But those are my 3 favorites. But these images in here are just beautiful. And the next one that I have to share with you is also Christine Karron. And then this one very much looks like Grayscale. That one definitely looks like Grayscale. This says Little Mermaid. I don't know. Is she just sharing something from another book in this one? I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe it does belong in there. Who knows? Anyways, these are all the books that she has available. And she has quite a few now. These are her most recent releases. And the next one that I'm going to share with you is actually this one here. So these up here are her most recent releases. And then on the back cover, it tells you exactly where you can find her Instagram, her YouTube, her Etsy shop, and I will make sure I link all of that as well. I'm going to have a lot of stuff to put in that description box for these books because I've got so many different artists today. But this is the back cover, and it just shows the images that are contained within the book. So that was Christine Karron, Characters Through Worlds and Times, Lineart coloring book. Okay, so now we have this book, and this book I just discovered. I thought it was a whole different book. They were both released on December 22nd at the end of 2021. And she has 2 different covers on these. So this is the Grayscale version, and this is the line art version of the book. And I'll flip through here pretty quickly. These books are both available for $13.95, but I thought they were two separate books because the front has a different image. But if you turn them over here and you look at them, you could see that the images are exactly the same in both of the books. Just one is Lineart and one is Grayscale. So I probably, on my wish list, probably would have just put the Grayscale version. I didn't realize that they were both the same. So I'm just putting that out there so that y'all know when you get ready to order this book and you don't get confused thinking that you are going to get different images. One is actually Grayscale and one is actually the Lineart version of the same images. But this image right here, oh my gosh, I love, love, love this image. I saw somebody color this and it came across, like, I think my Facebook page. It might have been in my Facebook group where I saw it colored, but it was just all blues and golds, and the way they did the jewels, it was just so magnificent. Like, it was absolutely gorgeous. It was one of those pages that you see come across your news feed, like, or Instagram, and you just have to stop and admire it. But I will flip through here really quickly. This image is gorgeous. I'll flip through here really quickly just so you could see what the Grayscale version looks like. And I would like to encourage you also to color Grayscale. Pick up a Grayscale coloring book and enjoy it. Like, the Grayscale gives you a guide and shows you exactly where to lay your colors. Look at this gorgeous fairy. How beautiful is that? This one looks very steampunky. I love it. And then here we have, what, an Eskimo girl. She's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And the pages do have names. Down here it says First Snow. This one says Baker. But yeah, I would like to encourage you to pick up a Grayscale book. If you look at the Grayscale, you could see 3 different tones of grays on here, and you can see exactly where to lay your darker colors. So like right up here above her eye, where there would naturally be more of a shadow, you would lay your darker tones up there, and more of a medium tone in here by her nose. And then over here, you could see that it would be more of a medium tone as you come down here, but here closer to her hair, you would lay a darker color. And you would just have to pick 3 colors, color her skin, and just use the Grayscale as a guide, and you would know exactly where to lay the colors. Look how gorgeous this image is. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at those roses in her hair and the veil. You can make that look completely see-through. Here's another gorgeous one. This one's called Among Dragons. This one is called Jewel Thief. Oh, I love that. Samba Dancer. Here's a wizard. Oh, and we have a colorist. Now, she had given this image out for free, or made it available for free, and I know that my mods in my Facebook group, they had actually done a color along for this image, and we used a limited palette, so that was a lot of fun. If you're not already in my Facebook group, there will be a link down in the description box below so that you could join us. And then here is that mermaid in Grayscale. But I thought when I looked at the other book and saw that mermaid that she looked like she was in Grayscale too. So I don't know if, here's the 2 images and they look exactly the same. So maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. So again, you could purchase either one of these books, the Lineart version or the Grayscale version, and they're $13.95 on Amazon. And I believe she may have an Etsy shop. If she does, I'll have it linked down in the description box below. And then this book I've been wanting for a very long time. This is Fairies 3. This is also Christine Karron, and this one also is Grayscale. I love her Grayscale more than anything. So you're going to have the front page here, and I'm sure this is very similar to the front pages of the other books. It just says this coloring book is designed for experienced colorists and beginners as well. Recommended for coloring with markers, colored pencils, pens, and or crayons. If you're using wet media, place a sheet of thick paper or cardstock behind the coloring page to prevent the bleed through. So this coloring book is actually from 2019. And I believe this is $13.95 as well. I believe they're all the same price. But here we've got the title Fairies 3, and then it tells you each one of the images. There's going to be 20 images, and then there are some bonuses. So we've got 4 more, and those might be from other books. I don't know yet. Let's see here. So this one is Fairy Dance. Look how gorgeous that is. And I've seen this one colored. This one is absolutely beautiful colored. I've seen this one on Instagram so many times. This is the Apple Tree Fairy. Moonchild Fae, again, gorgeous. I love the clothing that she puts on her fairies. Soulmates. Fairy Girl with Birds. I've seen this one colored numerous times as well. I actually really want to color this one. I want to color the birds, and her face is just so sweet and her eyes are just absolutely gorgeous. But the images in here, like all of her other books, all of her images, I know I keep saying that, but I just love her artwork. And then look at her dress in this one. So it already looks very see-through, and you could definitely take your colored pencils and some Posca and really make that dress stand out and look white and see-through. After the whole thing is colored, it will just really stand out. Here we have another beautiful fairy in a tree. I've seen this one colored numerous times as well. This is the Old Wise Fairy, and people have done just a beautiful job on this. The Hummingbird Fairy, the Fawn Fairy, look how gorgeous that is. This is the Toadstool Fairy. Oh, this one is so sweet. Fairy Grandmother and Granddaughter. Aww, I love that one. She's playing with the butterfly. Fairy with the little lizard. Look at the little lizard, how cute he is. Look how they're looking at each other. Oh, I love her eyes. Oh, I love those big-eyed fairies. They're the cutest thing ever. Daylight Keeper. Magic Flute. Oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Look at that face. Fairy Bride. She's beautiful too. Stolen Fae. This one is called Autumn. This one is Halloween Tea Party. Snow Day Skating. And then Steampunk Huntress. If you're wanting to color anything that is steampunky, this is a really great image. You get to take out all your shades of bronzes and golds and things like that and really get creative with a page like this. You even have the gears over here in the background. That would be a super fun color. And then again, she just shows you all the coloring books that were available up to this point. So because the other ones were a bit newer, that's why there were quite a few more coloring books on this page. And then of course the back page is going to show you the images that are contained within the book. And again, that is Fairies 3 Grayscale Coloring Book by Christine Karron. You can get this on Amazon for $13.95. This next book I have is Fantasy Garden. It's a brand new release by Rachel Mintz. And the cover is just absolutely gorgeous. So it says Fantasy Garden Grayscale Coloring Book for Adults. It's beautiful fairies, whimsical elf girls, enchanted pixies, and creatures. We're going to get 25 designs, and we're going to get 2 of each design. Then you could come down here and scan this, and you could join the Rachel Mintz Printable Coloring Books Club, where you'd get coupons and discounts and free coloring pages. And all of their digital books are available at rachelmintz.com. And in the description box below, I always do have available down there my link for Rachel Mintz, and I always have a coupon code to where you can get 33% off if you want to purchase the actual PDF version of the books. Get a color test page, so you could use this page to test out your colors before you bring them to your page. I really love the Rachel Mintz books because a lot of these, they're fairies, but they look so realistic. And the realism on these pages is just really out of this world. But look how gorgeous these images are. So as I've already flipped through these first few pages, I'm noticing something. I'm noticing that the first page is much darker. The grayscale is much darker. And then as I flip to the next page, it looks like it's lightened up a little bit. It looks like that is definitely how it was printed. So if you want the lighter grayscale version, you have that option. But these just all look so real. And I would imagine after these are colored in, they would definitely have that painted colored pencil look. And the paper is your typical Amazon paper. Of course, it's a thinner paper, and it is going to be a little toothy. And as I've said before, I do absolutely love my Prismacolors on this paper. I love pulling out my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils and using them on this paper. I also love the new pencils, the Color 240 set that I purchased a few months ago now. And I really love how those perform on this paper. But there are plenty budget sets that work wonderfully on this paper, and the, some artist grade sets as well work really beautifully also. And if you want to combine all those different colored pencil sets, you would have an array of colors to really bring these beautiful pages to life. But these pages just look already so real. I'm sure once you added color to them, they would be absolutely stunning. I mean, look at the glow already on her clothes. It almost looks like even if you went over and took your white Posca pen after you colored it all in and went over that highlight once again, that it would just really stand out and just pop off the page. And then of course you've got the lighter grayscale, which that may even work better on the lighter grayscale. So you could even go over some of these lines that are already naturally in the artwork with something like stickles or like a glitter pen. Oh, the Ohuhu glitter pens. That would be so perfect for these pages. And we're seeing lots of fairies today in these books. I actually did a tutorial on how to create sparkly translucent fairy wings. And I'll link that in the upper right hand corner if I can remember. But you could apply that to any one of these books that we're looking through today that have fairies in them. There have been quite a few fairies. But this one looks like it doesn't just have fairies. There's lots of like mystical type images and creatures in here. And if you love fantasy, this is definitely a great book. I mean, everything about this book, or all of the images, they just look so real. So like I said, this book is available on Amazon. And if you're going to purchase it on Amazon, you're going to pay $7.99. If you go to the Rachel Mintz store and you purchase it there, it may be a little bit cheaper. And you would have the option of printing it on the Spring Hill paper or any other paper that you really enjoy, and using any medium that you wanted. If you wanted to use markers, you could print it out on a marker paper, and if you wanted to use your colored pencils, you can use the Spring Hill paper, the Nina paper, or any paper that is a bit toothier. And if you do shop in the store, you're going to get 33% off of the cost. So some of these coloring books, if you do use my link for the 33% off, you are actually getting these coloring books for like right around $3-4, I think a little bit under $4. So it's a really great deal. And then this is the back of the book, and of course it just shows some of the images that are contained within the book. And again, that was Rachel Mintz's Fantasy Garden Grayscale Coloring Book for Adults. Okay, y'all, so I am totally excited about this book. This one was Happy Mail, sent to me by the same subscriber that sent me also the Christine Karron coloring books. This just came yesterday, and I was thrilled. This has been on my wish list for the longest time. But let me go ahead and show you the size, those of you that are not familiar with the Rita Berman books. But they are much, much smaller. And you could see this is the Christine Karron book, which is the typical Amazon size. And you could see I've got about this much, again, room left over here on this side. And then if I put this way down at the bottom, look at the difference here. So this book is great for like simple, quick colors if you just want to sit down and get a page done. But this is a gorgeous book. And the paper in these books is a little bit smoother. It has a little bit of tooth, but a very, very small amount of tooth. The images in these books are just so whimsical. I'm going to try to flip through here a little bit quicker. So if there's anything that you would like to see, you can always pause the videos. Again, I'm going to have timestamps at the bottom so you can come back and pause it. Oh my gosh, I wanted this book just for this page. This page of the sunflower. I love coloring sunflowers, and it's a sunflower covering the entire page. That is just right up my alley. But something like this would be a really quick, fun color. We just did another color along, a monochromatic color along in my Facebook group. And somebody colored this page in all pinks, and it was gorgeous. If that was you and you're watching this video, you have to let me know down in the comments below, because that page was out of this world. Look how beautiful the artwork is, though. It's just so whimsical and fun, and it's just really different from any other artist. Like, she is one of those artists that you look at it and you just know that is Rita Berman's. Like, you just know. And I know a lot of artists are like that. Like, you could do that with Deborah Muller. You look at it, you know it's her. And like I said, the Rita Berman, Christine Karron, I could look at her and I know that's her artwork. There's so many artists like that, and I love when artists are so unique that you could look at something and instantly pinpoint who drew that artwork. But look how beautiful these images are. This is, I don't know, I guess this could be a double page spread. It is, but it isn't. I don't know, maybe it's not. You could color it like it was a double page spread because it's got all the same types of flowers and everything. But this one size has a porcupine. I think that's, what is that, the second porcupine we've seen today, if these are actually porcupines. But then on this page we have the cute little bird up there. Look at that gorgeous wreath. Oh, how beautiful. Look at this double page spread. And see, a double page spread in this book, because the book is so much smaller, it wouldn't be as intimidating as opening up something like a Kirby Rosanis book and coloring that. Even I can't open up one of Kirby's books and not get intimidated by how much there is to color on one of his double page spreads. But this book I could totally handle, and there's quite a few. Here's another one. Here's another one. So there's quite a few double page spreads in this book. And then you also have these pages that have the individual items on them. If you just wanted to color something really quick. We have an adorable little pineapple here that looks like a fun color. Oh, look at this elephant with all the designs and patterns on him. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, so lots of cactuses and succulents. We've got a lizard here. And that is actually another double page spread. A giraffe with lots of leaves. And then you can see here, she shows you the other books that are available. And I think I only have like maybe 3, maybe 4 of her books. And then the back cover tells you a little bit about Rita Berman. Of course, I can't read that because it's not in English. And then here is the back cover. And this book here you can pick up on Amazon, and it is $14.27. But yeah, that's a really good price, and they're adorable little books if you just want to color something quick. Okay, y'all, that was a lot of coloring books. I've been sitting here filming for probably 2 hours flipping through these books. Of course, I'm sure I'll be able to cut a lot of that down when I go to edit this. But I hope y'all enjoyed this flip through and review video. And if you decide to pick up any of these coloring books, I would love to hear which ones you really liked in the comments below. Everything that you've seen in this video will be linked down in the description box. And like I said earlier, there will also be timestamps on this video. So if you've just watched this video all the way through and there's something that you want to see, you can always go back and check the bar at the bottom of the video. So I hope y'all have a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.